What's going on, everyone? XL804. I'm here to do some Tarkov talk, and as today you can see, I want to talk about Lighthouse. Before I get started, I just want to say if this is your first time seeing me, I'm doing a small series where I'm going over all the maps and where like feedback I think would make the map a little bit better than where it is. So if you want to check that out, go to my profile, hit the Tarkov talk playlist, and from there you can see the maps. Hopefully you like it. Maybe consider dropping a follow for your boy. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so let's get into the colors of the map and kind of what it means. I leave it empty and I put marks as I go, but I figured I'd do the opposite this time. So let's start off with this orange line. It's kind of the main focus of the video, which is the flow of the map. Lighthouse is unique because if you look at all the other maps except for Factory, players spawn on pretty much one side of the map or the other, and the objective is to get to the middle of the map, hit the points of interest or whatever, and you leave, right? And your extracts are always on the opposite side of where you come in at, or where you spawn at. So that creates overlap, and then as you guys are moving through the map, there should be overlap and PvP or interactions happen at that point. Of course, you can avoid it if you know the flow and all that, but that's a conversation for another time. Generally speaking, that's where the PvP happens. But this map, as you can see, a lot of players spawn on the bottom half and over here to the right, but there is nobody up north. What I would be interested to see is to break this orange line up, take some of these spawns and take some of these mountain spawns, sprinkle them up here, maybe have like 1 to 2 spawns in train yard, right? Maybe opposite sides of each other. Have some people spawn down by the beaches, and then those players can fight for control of train yard and the water treatment plant, and these players down here will have to fight each other just because of how close they are. But then at that point they would fight over chalet and then fight for resort, maybe even village, and then there should be some kind of meet up here in the middle, similar to how Customs was, because Customs, there was at one point there was no fortress or old gas. It was just you had to go through dorms, new gas area to get out, and a lot of PvP used to happen in that area and used to be really fun. But I mean, I guess that's subjective to who you ask. If you don't like the PvP, that might suck for you, but you know, you could still skate out through Path to Shoreline. You could still wrap around to Path to Shoreline if you want to avoid the spot. But you know, again, that's a conversation for another time. I'm just saying I think it'd be interesting to see players spawn up north and work their way down, and have the players south work their way up, and then these people who spawn right on top of all the loot, they won't just vacuum it and just hit, you know, Red Rebel or hit Shoreline and leave. It'll be a little bit different. And then they could probably spread out. This blue circle represents like the spawns are so jam-packed together down here. They might be able to spread them out a little bit if they get rid of these spawns and move them up north, and then hopefully it won't be this whole looking up at the mountain, looking down into the woods thing that they have going on, where like you're pretty much gonna die within like the first 2 minutes of the raid. It'd also be interesting if they added a boat extract right there, just so that if you do have a big fight or you get kills or whatever, that you could just leave and go this way. Or if you come from the north and you want to hit the resort chalet buildings, or if you come down this way and you fight or whatever, you can just leave right there. That would be convenient. Lighthouse, I feel like Lighthouse needs to be a little bit easier. I know they tweaked some of the quests, but honestly they gotta really tone it down. I mean, I guess they're thinking like the way they have it built, and this might be a conversation for another time, it's built as if the game is on full release. It's not. So I don't know if they need to take quests out, scale the quest way down, so that players can have, like, so that casual players can have access to it. Maybe by like the end of the first month and a half they'd be able to get to it. I'm not really sure. I need y'all's feedback on that, but I think they should definitely make it easy to get into Lighthouse, because then it doesn't become a foot race to get to resort, or excuse me, chalet and then resort up here. You know, you could fight or whatever, you can come down here and then you can come out and you can just leave or whatever. It would just give players one more thing to do. It would break the flow of the map to where you never know where you're going to run into players. The other thing I would say is that the AI needs to be tweaked, but I think everyone knows that. I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole. But that's all I had. It's just really the flow of the map is my biggest issue with Lighthouse. I think the loot is good and it is a fun map, but I just feel like it would be more interesting if they went back to their traditional design style when it comes to spawns and extracts, to just kind of see how it plays out with this middle section. I think there could be a lot of fun to be had right here. So comment what you think on the video, if there's anything I missed or anything you just like to see added. If you stayed this long and you liked it, consider dropping a follow for your boy, and have a good day or night depending on where you are.